What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Control and Victory podcast, where victory starts within, but it only starts when you take control. I'm your host, Farlan, and first off, I just want to say I appreciate you stopping by, checking out this video. I know it probably popped up randomly on your feed, or you follow me on social media and you dropping by to show your support. Either way, I appreciate you checking out this new episode of the Control and Victory podcast. And I hope that since you are here, you'll like the video, hit the subscribe button, and share your thoughts. Let me know what topics you would like for me to discuss, or just give me some encouragement. You know what I'm saying? I love feedback, good or bad. Let me know. And, I hope you enjoy this new episode, and I hope you enjoy all the content we produce here on the Control and Victory podcast, and I hope you support the Control and Victory brand. One way you can support the Control and Victory brand, we have merch. Right now I got on my Control and Victory black tee. As you can see, it say Control and Victory. On the back it says Victory Starts Within. And that's all what we about with the Control and Victory. So it's all about the mindset shift, knowing that victory starts within and knowing how you can control your situation and you see victory at the end. And man, we got hoodies, we got hats, we got shirts, other tees. We just dropped the Victory Orange, we got the Victory Blue, and I got on now the Victory Black. So, man, if you want to show your support, the link is in the description where you can purchase your merch. You can follow me on all social media platforms. My personal page is at Farlan Will, and you can support the brand at Control Victory, and that's at CTRL+VICTORY. So again, I appreciate you stopping by, checking out the content, and I appreciate you showing your support by purchasing some merch. All right. But this conversation today, man, I'm going to call it a hack. A lot of times we have disagreements, and I feel like with this hack, man, it will solve a lot of problems. And it's all about a mindset shift. Just like when we wear our merch and we wear this mindset shift, victory starts within. It kind of reminds us to take control of our own path, and, knowing that once you change that mentally and inside of you, you'll see victory, meaning you'll see results in your life. You'll see a big change. So today's topic, man, is going to be real interesting, and we're going to call it the mindset code, how to cut down on disagreements. So y'all stay tuned. Again, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and I hope y'all enjoy today's conversation. So recently, me and my wife, we had a conversation, and in that conversation, my wife mentioned that I'm the type that always give my opinion. I'm a straightforward person, and sometimes when I say things to her or present my opinion, she sometimes feel like that she didn't say the right things, or she missed something. So she kind of take my opinion as me telling her that she should have done this and she should have done that. And I had to take a step back and look like, man, am I really telling her, hey, you should do this, you should do it this way? And I had to look, and me and her was discussing it. And, honestly, that's not what I'm trying to do. You get what I'm saying? If we having a conversation and I give my honest opinion, we just having a conversation and I'm giving you my thoughts, and I know it does sometimes come off like, hey, you should do this, you should do that. But honestly, I'm just saying, hey, if it was me, I would do this. You know what I'm saying? And we started talking about this situation because, well, this is just an example. My wife, the type of person, right? She's the person that people go to vent, people go to for information, people go to just to pour all their problems on her, And my wife, she the type of person, she'll listen. She'll listen to you, and she'll let you get off whatever's on your mind or heart, because she's that type of person. Like, she really wholeheartedly care and want to be that person that you can lean on and you can confide in and just like I say, vent to, but at the same time, I always ask her, well, baby, who can you vent to? These people that's calling you, can you vent to them? Can you lean on them? Now, she always mentions that, I'm her person. I'm the one she confide in and vent to, which is what she's supposed to do. And I'm happy that we have that relationship, that we can have those tough conversations and we can have those times where she's not feeling her best and she can vent to me and we can kind of, problem solve. And I want to highlight the word problem solve, because I personally feel that, I don't mind you venting to me. I don't mind you leaning on me. But at the end of this venting and you confiding in me, I feel like it's important that we problem solve, because I don't want it to be a habit that you constantly calling me and constantly venting to me, but not trying to problem solve. You get what I'm saying? And I hate to sound like like I'm being mean or, but honestly, I feel like we need to figure out how to problem solve. So me and my wife, we was having this discussion, and, that's what I was saying. I'm like, well, baby, if you try and help them problem solve, I feel like they won't call you as much. Which she don't have a problem with people calling her. You get what I'm saying? But at the same time, again, my question is, well, baby, can you call them and vent to them? Do you feel even comfortable calling them and venting to them? At the end of the day, what we have is something special. And we created a space where we can vent to one another. We can have these conversations. And I encourage people to have those conversations with their significant other. Or if they don't have a significant other, find somebody who you can vent to. But at the same time, let's problem solve. You get what I'm saying? Because you're going through this situation for a reason, right? But that's just one of the issues. I mean, not issues. I ain't gonna say issues, but that's just something. Some of the conversations we have, because at the end of the day, when I say these things, I'm not saying it in a negative way. Get what I'm saying? I'm saying it actually in a positive way. I want to help you. And I know that you're reaching out to me so you can get some help. And that's with anything, not even people venting, but when your children reaching out to you, maybe they having a problem, they want to vent, or anybody, get what I'm saying? And you're trying to problem solve, that's actually a positive thing. And in the midst of a disagreement, if we having a disagreement and you say your piece, I say my piece, and at the end of the day, we have to problem solve. How do we move forward? How do we agree to disagree and move forward? You get what I'm saying? It has to have a solution at the end of a disagreement. It has to be a solution when you're venting. It has to be a solution when you can't figure it out. You get what I'm saying? So I started to think, and when me and my wife discussing, we decided, like, man, it's really a mindset shift. And when we came up with that, not even came up with that, when we just start discussing that it takes a mindset, it's a mindset shift to recognize, hey, is this a negative thing or this a positive thing? When we're trying to problem solve or find solution, and you can take that on the other end as a positive thing or a negative thing. When we're trying to problem solve, I'm not telling you, hey, I don't want you to vent to me, or, hey, I don't agree with what you're saying, but is the person saying it in a positive way, or is the person saying it in a negative way? And as the person on the other end of that that's receiving this information, you have a choice to take it in a negative way or take it in a positive way. And depending on how you take it, it's going to affect you negatively or it's going to affect you positively. And again, and I hope I'm making sense, man. I know I'm just talking, but I just thought about that because honestly, it takes a mindset shift. If you take things negatively or you think negative when somebody's saying something to you, then guess what? You're going to respond negatively. But if you take something positive, meaning, oh, this person is telling me this because they love me, they want the best for me, guess what? It's going to turn out positively. Right? Am I right or wrong? Let me know. You know how you feel. I feel like that mindset shift will save a lot of relationships. That mindset shift will save a lot of stopping a lot of disagreements. You get what I'm saying? And you might still have a disagreement or discourse with each other. I hope that's a word. Did I use that word right? Who knows? But if you having conflict with somebody, especially if somebody that you love and somebody that care about you, and they telling you things that, yeah, you might not want to hear at that moment. The person is saying things that you might know in your head, but you don't want to hear that right now, And when you having these conversations, I feel like it's important that you have a positive mindset, because if you have a positive mindset, you're going to take it in a positive way. And I know I'm like repeating myself, but I hope I'm communicating this right. I'm trying to do it as the best I can. But I honestly think that small mindset shift is a code. It cracks the code on having disagreements. It cracks the code on how you perceive things. It cracks the code on allowing you to grow in life. You know what I'm saying? That mindset shift is real big, and I feel like that's a simple way of solving problems. So I don't want to keep on going in the circles, but I just encourage you, if you have somebody in your life that can openly have discussions with you and openly communicate with you, make sure that you're going into it with a positive mindset. Because if you're going in it with a positive mindset, I feel like that would create space for you to be able to grow. It creates a space for that person to talk freely with you, and that creates a space where you and whoever you confide in or vent to or lean on for information and lean on for advice, that creates a space of y'all having an open conversation where both of y'all feel safe to communicate freely. I think I just repeated myself, but I hope y'all understand, man. And I hope y'all take this information in a positive way. And, me and my wife, we have these discussions all the time. I love having these discussions with her because these discussions be so eye-opening and it be so fulfilling to our relationship, because we start noticing things that, oh, you know what? I'm happy you said that. I'm glad we came up with this, or just kind of I don't know what I'm trying to say. Just created a space where, okay, you know what? You're right. I know who you are. I know who I am. You know who I am. You know who you are. Hey, I'm coming with love. I want to see you grow. I know you want to see me grow. So let's accept any information that we giving each other or anything that we saying. Let's take it in a positive manner, because that's going to create a space where we grow together and we able to have tough conversations even when we don't agree with the person. You know, you telling me this because you love me and you're not taking it negative. So we can be able to problem solve and find a solution and move forward. And I feel like that's important with anything. You want to just move forward. You want to be able to be you and talk freely without feeling like, oh, I shouldn't say this because that person going to take it negative. Or, ooh, they ain't going to like when I say this, so I ain't going to say it. You get what I'm saying? So I don't want you to create a space where the person who you vent into or the person that you confide in don't feel safe on being honest with you. You know, and I feel like that's important. You want people to be honest with you because you're going to have a lot of yes man around you. And I feel like that's dangerous because you're not going to grow. You're going to beat to your own drum and feel like you're doing everything right. You know what I'm saying? So it's important that you create that space where people can talk to you and be open with you. Okay, even your kids, your friends, on your job, people that's looking up to you. Okay. So I did write down some notes. So I'm going to look at my computer and I'm going to read what I had wrote just so we can kind of land the plane, make sure we on the same page because I know I'm just talking out of my head. I know I'm talking in circles. So I really want to make sure I'm communicating this clearly as possible. All right. So, and I'm going to start off with these hard truths because I feel like these are the truths that hopefully will make sense, but also make you understand where I'm coming from. So I wrote hard truth number 1. Disagreements often come from how we choose to process what's said, not only from what's actually said. Okay. Hard truth number 2. You only have 2 choices, positive lens or a negative lens. Whichever you choose determines your response. Yeah, what they say, clock that T. Clock that T. Hey, that just clocked a lot of people's T's. I think I used it right. Whatever. But hard truth number 3. If you know someone means well, If you know someone means well, stop treating them like the enemy. Learn to hear their intent over their tone. Ooh, that's big. That is big in a relationship, especially for me, because I know my tone can be very stern, but sometimes I don't even really know how to I'm trying to soften my delivery because my kids tell me every time, like, Daddy, it's not what you said, it's just how you said it. Like, and you don't be saying it wrong. It's just, be so stern and it's just like, dang, and I'm trying to work on my tone. You get what I'm saying? And my delivery. So those are my 3 hard truths that I have wrote. And I hope y'all understand where I'm coming from when we talk about that mindset shift, and here's a few examples that I wrote. Like I said before, at work, your supervisor giving feedback. Do you hear criticism or growth opportunity? At home, we kind of mentioned this. Your spouse reminding you of something. Do you hear nagging or care? You see what I'm saying? Positive or negative. With friends, someone calling you out. Do you hear hate or accountability? Positive or negative? Those are some examples where that mindset shift. If you're going to think positive, then great. You're going to take it in a positive way. If you think negative, you're going to take it in a negative way. So just know, man, your mindset sets the tone for your peace, your relationship, and your ability to lead. So y'all know on the last episode, I said that, I was going to try and do what I call a victory challenge for the week. And this victory challenge for this week, the mindset flip. So this week, whenever someone says something that triggers you, pause before responding. Ask yourself, if I choose to see this positively, what could this mean? Or what could they mean? Write down 3 moments this week where you practice this mindset flip. At the end of the week, reflect. Did it reduce arguments, tension, or negative energy? So that's our victory challenge of the week. Again, that's just practicing this mindset flip. And again, man, I hope y'all understood what I was saying through this conversation. I know I kind of went on a tangent about me and my wife conversation, but that's what me and my wife do. We go on these conversations, and we go down this hole of just having these conversations. That's why we started a podcast a long time ago. I mean, not a long time ago, actually last year. And y'all can check out some of those conversations that we have on our The For Real fan page. Man, right now I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up, man. It's about to storm out here. We is in the tropical storm watch. As y'all can hear the wind blowing, the trees swaying and all that. The clouds getting dark right now. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Again, just remember, practice that mindset flip and see the great things that it can do for your life, the great things that it can do for your relationship, the great thing that it can do for your ability to lead, or if you're in a leadership role, with your friendship, your children, anything, man. If you have that mindset shift of taking it negative or taking it positive, you're going to know, or you're going to see so many things differently, especially if you see everything in a positive way. And I encourage you to start seeing things in a positive way and see the beautiful change that it can have on your life. Okay. So again, share this episode with somebody who you might feel like it can help them. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you follow me on all social media platforms. You can follow my personal page at Farlan Will and also at Control Victory. Man, I appreciate y'all checking out this episode. I look forward to hearing your feedback, good or bad, don't matter. Let me know. That only helps me grow. Again, mindset flip. If you telling me bad feedback, I'm not gonna take it to heart. I'm gonna take it. If it's good feedback that I can take, guess what? I'm gonna use it. If it's good, I'm gonna use it. It's all about the mindset, baby. But man, y'all make sure y'all have a wonderful week. And remember, victory starts within, but it only starts when you take control. Y'all have a good one, and I'll see y'all on the next episode.